we have a package. I'm not really sure what's inside. I'm pretty sure what's inside. I'm not confident. Let's find out. It's a package within a package. Maybe there's another package inside. So this is the new DRO for the sawmill. That's not so nice. God damn it. That wire is way too short. Maybe. It might be too short. Hopefully I can extend it somehow. I can get it open and extend it. We'll find out. I probably can. I will assume that I can actually open this up and extend this wire situation. But anyway, let me show you my plan. This one will be inside of this one, like so. We'll have to remove those, but it should fit inside, otherwise I'll make it fit. With the DRO inside, this one goes on this cover. Yeah, I think that's gonna be nice. So next up, we are going to be mounting this, on the sawmill. Actually, I'll probably bring this down into the workshop and figure out if I can extend this and yada yada. Yep, so let's do that next. Right. So this one, we'll have to extend this cable. This is a 7-core or 7-lead, however you want to call it. And it doesn't have any connections. Like, it's soldered inside, and then this, I don't know. Doesn't look like you can really... There's a screw. You can probably pull this out, but it's definitely soldered. I don't want to open that. It's probably sealed as well. And this cable is quite small, just a signal cable basically. And it has very small leads, probably like 0.25, something like that. This is the cable that I got. This is the smallest. It's 8-core. They didn't have 7. And it's 0.5. I don't know how the resistance and stuff inside of that works. If by splicing this cable inside here, I might be changing the resistance and the length and make this reading inaccurate. But this cable has to be longer, otherwise it doesn't fit on a sawmill. But maybe we can test it and see if there's a difference. So I'll try to test it now without changing anything. Basically just to make sure it's working before I start tampering with it. So these are the magnetic strips that this will run along. This will go on the sawmill. This will stay stationary. This runs along it like so. Let's see if I can get a better shot, a better angle. So this runs along this like so. And then as it moves, it'll change. So this is your reading, and we should be able to zero. We should be able to zero it somehow. There we go, 0. And then if we start moving this, 0. Okay, there we go. Very good. Works fine. And then goes to minus when you go below, and you press C and F to zero it, and then okay, so it works fine. This is a magnetic strip, and I would like to keep it away from any metal dust particles and stuff like that. So I'll put this in a Ziploc bag so that it doesn't get contaminated. I have to move you guys a bit to get to my drawer. So now to splice this, I don't think this heat shrink will go down to that size. It will cover that, but I might have to use 2 to kind of build up a thicker layer on that cable so that the heat shrink will cover it. Yeah. And then there is also, yeah, never mind. This is a armored cable. Well, I guess it isn't armored, but there's something. I need my scissor. I might be ruining this by splicing it due to the resistance and stuff. We'll just have to see. So at your own risk. I mean, I guess we'll find out in this video if it works or not. But either way, this, I would have to buy a new one to get a longer cable. So even if I do ruin it, then I'll have to get another one anyway. So this is just an attempt to not have to buy a new one. Flies everywhere. And then hopefully the solder tubing will manage to splice these cables. Oh, there's a core inside it as well. This cable might actually be intended to carry a small load due to the strands around here and also the core, maybe, I don't know. And then we'll cut this and boom, no way back. So I'll try to be a bit careful in stripping this. This also has those strands around it, the armoring or whatever it is. So I guess these two might be the same cable, just in a different gauge. Yeah, these wires are so tiny. So this cable has some interference protection and also a bunch of ropes. This looks to be a shielded rubber networking cable. These wires are so tiny and it's actually stranded as well. This might not work, but I guess we'll just have to find out. I do have some networking cable. Let me see what type that is. Alright, so this is networking cable. Network cable. It's about the same size, it's a bit bigger. It's not shielded, so this is like, I don't know what you call it, Cat 6 or Cat 5 or something. I bought this from China, and this is a more expensive cable due to the shielding and stuff. And I don't think they would have spent the money on this cable if they didn't absolutely have to. So these are my two alternatives. This one, which is shielded in some way, not as much as this, but it's a lot bigger. Or just networking cable, which is not shielded, but it's about the same size, and it is one stranded, and I'm not sure how much power you can send through it. I know that you can use them for PoE, so there is some amount of power that can go through them. They are single core, and these are stranded. So what do? I think we'll go with this cable. Now, splicing it, it won't be shielded in this area, but I guess we'll just have to try and see. I actually think that I'm gonna, well, there goes all of those screws. I think I'm gonna drill a hole in this first and splice it inside. That way I'll get this nice and tight, good and tight. And I can probably use this, maybe. Oh, that's close. That is close. Just barely. So it's gonna have to be this one instead. Yep. The drill, the drill. Where is the drill? I'll have to look at the sawmill and see which way. So it'll be mounted like this way on the sawmill, and I need to go check where feed the wire out.
Moments later.
So we can go either side, and for waterproofing purposes we'll go from the bottom. There should be a gasket. There it is. Nice!
Nice.
And then before we start splicing these, we'll have to put the crimp on, and I guess it'll be something like that. Like so. And then all the colors will match up, so we'll do... How many strands are these? 2, 4... There's only 6. I have miscounted. Then we'll use the heat gun and not the propane. Almost did a boo-boo. I'll put one of these on there just to be able to seal it up nice if it doesn't close all the way. It'll give it a bit more at least. First one done. Let's hope that's good. And then there is no more cables. Doesn't look like it. Now, this is going to be inside the box, so it's not terribly important that it's completely sealed. But we'll get to see now how this will seal against that. Yeah, it did seal up, so that's good. And we'll leave this to cool off a little bit. And then we'll do the same for this. Now this will be on the outside in the weather, so it's important that this seals up nice. And it does. Well, it's still a little bit soft. We can kind of shove it in here. The other way. Like so. Then all of these screws that we lost, or I lost, we need a battery in that. So there's really no point in doing that right now. And then we're going to do the other side. If you go to do this and buy this DRO, then I would make sure that the cable for it is either connected with some screw clamps or something so that you can easily swap out the cable. That would be a different model or version of this. I haven't seen something like that. Or preferably I would check that this cable is long enough. Find one that has a longer cable if you need it. Now, you could put, like, I didn't necessarily absolutely have to do this. I could have put the box closer to where this will mount, but it would be awkward because you have to click those to zero it out and stuff. And having it all the way over where this will be mounted is, yeah, it wouldn't be great. Leave a comment and let me know what you think of all this. Would there have been an easier way to do it? Am I doing something wrong? Is it going to work? We'll find out. Leave a comment and let me know what you think. Did I shrink this? Yes, I did. That's a problem. But I do think I might have something that goes over the entire thing, but that's not gonna work out because I'm already... Yep, it's gonna be this. I could put some tape on this end and then heat shrink over it. What do you think? Is it gonna work? We'll let that cool off. We can put some batteries in here. Let's see. Okay. Can you see anything? Yeah, you can see it now. Does seem to be working just fine. So that's good. I don't know how to turn that off. When I click this one, it just shows a light. Was there a user manual for this? Probably was somewhere. Exit key, clear or exit current mode, parameter modification key, menu parameter switching key. Okay, I can't find anything in the user manual for turning it off, which is weird, but whatever. Let's put this seal in here. Apparently, I've managed to melt this somehow. Well, that's annoying. There we have it. Really weird that I can't turn it off. And now we need to mount this onto the sawmill. I'm probably gonna have to open it up again. We'll see. So my plan is to mount it like here. I'm thinking I could also do here. Oh no, I have to do here. That's yeah, I think the best place for it is right there. And then
Yeah, I'd like 3 orders of garlic chicken
and then
and 3 orders of white rice.
and then
Yeah, 3 orders of wonton soup.
and then
Gosh, I think that's about it.
and then
That's it.
and then
No and then. That's all I want.
and then
then nothing else because I'm done ordering, okay?
and then
And then I'm gonna come in there and I'm gonna put my foot in your ass if you say and then again.
then. So I think I'll remove this from that, and then I can use that to actually maybe that'll be too wobbly. I don't know. And then I could mount this to that. Yeah, I think so. So what I'm gonna do, I think, is figure out a way to mount this right here, like so. And then I'll put the magnetic strip on this. I do think that would be the easiest and most rigid way to do it. So I'll need to figure out exactly how I'm gonna do that. So right, I think I'll cut an angle out of this, something like that, just a bit shorter on that side, longer on that side. Something like that. That should be perfect, but I will have to figure out those holes. I don't know if my center punch will go through, but we'll find out. Does not go through, so that's a problem. Let's put that strip on there. Drill a couple of holes in this. That's way too fast. Need to change the speed. This lid has a weird noise. That's weird. So I think what I'll do now is put this back on and then...
And I'm gonna put my foot in your ass if you say and then again!
try to make some more in it. Let's drill and tap that first. This vise has some weird noises. Strange.
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
Looks to be working. Need to shim it a little bit. Then we'll let that cure right there. I was actually thinking to take the lid off and just put some self-tappers right through there, but I don't have any self-tapping screws that'll go through that thick. The ones I have are for a bit thinner material. I've tried those screws on thicker material before and they just break. Zip tied, let that cure, and then hopefully it'll stay there. But it's working, so that's nice. I don't know how to turn it off, so it's going to be interesting to see how much battery it uses in standby. There should be a way to turn it off. It's weird that it doesn't have that option in the manual, but maybe I'll figure something out. It's now the next day and this has hardened. It's a bit soft still. It does get harder than this, but I think it takes like 72 hours or something for it to cure fully, but it should be more than enough to keep it in place. The battery hasn't drained anything. Still at 100%. I just think it's weird that you can't turn it off. How did we zero it? CNF? Yeah. You're supposed to be able to change some modes and stuff. But yeah. Let's see how much one click is. One click, and then we also have to shake it a little bit to settle it. So one click is about 4 mil. Let's try it again. 0.4 mil, I mean. One click is about 0.4 mil. And then hopefully this enclosure should be waterproof. I'm not too worried about condensation, so I don't have a drain hole. I do have a drain hole in this. I drilled through the box and through this metal, so we'll just have to see if any water or condensation gets inside. I will put a drain hole in this as well, but the box should be IP67 and then this lid is IP67 if I've done the assembly correct. There is a damage you saw underneath. Yeah, it's way too close, you can't see it right now, but I had to heat it up and pry it out to make the gasket fit and to make this lid fit. So it might not be entirely waterproof, I don't know, but at least it's on the underside, same as this fitting, so that any water that gets on this box will drain downwards, and not, if you had this on top, you could get water inside, because these aren't, they should be waterproof, but they're not always completely. Just like the design of this. My friend who's an electrician told me that this design is bad, because the wire should never go in on top when you're mounting stuff outside. Inside it's fine, but outside the wire should come down and go in from underneath. That way the water drains downwards and water doesn't run upwards, at least not a lot. And so we took some sandpaper on this wire, filled it with some sealant up there. I've opened this a couple of times and there has been no water inside it. This is for the light that I have. I have a LED strip underneath there for nighttime. I also have those that have gotten a bit mangled in the snow that comes off the roof, so I'll have to repair those. So yeah, that's for the light on the sawmill, and that's for the laser that I had on there, but I blew the power supply that's inside and I took it off. It was mounted right here. I would like a new laser on it, but I need a different mounting method. This wasn't ideal, so I think next time I would put it, I'm not sure, somewhere else, and also make it a bit more rigid. When you were milling and the vibration knocked this out of position, I would have to recalibrate it all the time. Well, not all the time, but often I had to recalibrate the laser, so it wasn't real good. I should have had a roof over this already, at least just over the saw head, like right there. You know, it could go to about here maybe, so that the saw head would be under roof during winter and rain and the elements, and then the bed could be outside. Preferably I would have had it all under a roof, but I don't think I'm going to do that, but I will probably build a roof over the saw head in that position. So I forgot to shoot the outro segment for this video. It's raining and very windy outside now. All I wanted to do is thank you so much for watching. So if you feel like I've earned it, a like, a comment and subscribing to the channel really helps me, and is a great way to support me without having to spend any money at all. It's just a few clicks and you've supported the channel a lot, and I appreciate it very much, and I will see you in the next one. That I can actually, anyway, and then that.
Gosh, I think that's about it.
And then
That's it.